Governor Abbott and Texas lawmakers made their way to the border today, announcing expanded efforts to protect the state from illegal migrant crossings.
Standing with state legislators in Eagle Pass today, he again blamed President Biden for illegal immigration at the border, but says what Texas is doing is worth it. KCBD News Channel 11's Case Wilbanks has been covering this from the border. He sent us this report after the conference.
On one side of what is Shelby Park is, of course, Eagle Pass and what has been this park's use, a baseball field and dugouts. And on the other side, that fortification by the state, including this razor wire. The governor says to expect to see more of this along the border.
If you see an area that is boxed off by a container that has razor wire on the container or on the ground or on the fence, those are areas that illegal immigrants were once able to cross.
Shelby Park still a source of tension between the state and federal government, but now it's a staging ground for state border security efforts, and Governor Abbott says the lack of illegal crossings here now is because the state's efforts are working.
Even though Texas represents about 2/3 of the border, we represent only about 30% of the crossings.
Now the governor says beyond 160 miles of barrier already constructed on the Texas border, there will be more.
If you look at the amount of wall already constructed and the amount of wall that is going to be under construction, Texas will have built more of the Trump border wall than even Trump built in the state of Texas.
Abbott says the state is working on plans for more physical barriers and personnel along the border, touting what he says has been successful.
We are working with the Texas National Guard on strategies to both add and to accommodate more National Guard in this area. We will also work with the National Guard to continue their strategies of adding more miles of razor wire and anti-climb barrier.
Lawmakers say the state has already appropriated more than $11 billion on border security in the last 4 years. South Plains Representative Dustin Burrows says in the state capitol his colleagues are ready to deliver additional resources.
We have spent more than the federal government at some points in actually doing this. There's $6 billion or over $6 billion we appropriated last session to do exactly what you're seeing being done here.
And as bipartisan federal border security legislation fails to gain the support of most Republicans in Congress, Burrows says he does believe the federal government should appropriate funds to Texas.
Oh, I would love to see Congress reimburse us for what we've spent and continue to help pay for the operations that we're actually doing, which rightfully they should be doing.
But Governor Abbott says there's no need for new federal laws and welcomes challenges to the state's efforts.
We look forward to our day in court where we are able to tell America the way that Joe Biden is violating the laws that are on the books by Congress right now.
Texas House Democrats have called this event in Shelby Park a circus and border theater, hinting at upcoming primaries some state elected officials are facing. So there will be several things to watch for when it comes to the border. Does Congress try again to make changes legislatively? What happens in the courts as they consider state law and authority? And of course, what happens here on the ground?
And that was Case Wilbanks reporting from the border at Eagle Pass.